Look, I know why you're all here. You want to know once and for all if using AI in college is good or bad. Because, depending on who you talk to, AI is destroying the age-old institution of higher education. Or single-handedly hauling it back out of the grave. It's ruining our critical thinking skills. Or making us into better writers. Or causing an epidemic of plagiarism. Or making learning more accessible than ever before. In other words, it's confusing. But if there's one thing study hall's good for, it's helping you wade through the confusing parts of college. Hi, I'm Erica Brzozowski, and here's what you need to know about using AI in college. Okay, first things first. When we talk about using AI in college, there's a lot to talk about. We've got educational concerns, ethical concerns, environmental concerns. And we'll get to those things. But before we do, let's make sure we've got a handle on the actual technology and terminology of AI. Because AI is a really broad and kind of misleading term. It refers to any technology that allows computers to do human-like things like learning, problem-solving, creating, and making decisions. So AI includes everything from the algorithm that showed you this video, to the app that predicts your weather, to the video generator that made those weird Christmas Coca-Cola ads, to the merciless robot overlords that will one day overtake us. Kidding about that last one? Hopefully. What people are mostly worried about when it comes to AI in higher education is generative AI, a kind of deep learning model that can produce complex content like images, articles, sounds, videos, books, and those emails you keep getting from the new HR guy. They're worried about it because a lot of people are using AI in a lot of ways in college. In fact, recent surveys show that around 90% of students in the US have used AI for school. But exactly how and how much they're using it varies widely. Some have used it once, while others are using it weekly. Some use it to check their spelling and grammar before turning in assignments, and some use it to create study guides or homework plans. Some ask for help summarizing long readings or searching for information or simplifying complex ideas. Some use it to generate research topics and ideas for papers. And some are using it to write their papers, answer their discussion questions, and even do their math homework. It's not just students either. In 2024, about 61% of college professors were using AI to do stuff like design curricula, come up with new teaching strategies, grade assignments, and scan your paper to determine whether you're using AI. Whether any of that is actually helpful is up for debate. For one thing, AI isn't designed to give you the right answers. It's designed to give you answers that sound right. See, asking ChatGPT to explain the connection between photosynthesis and Earth's atmosphere isn't really the same as asking your college professor. It's more like asking your gossipy cousin who heard it from an Instagram post, who heard it from Wikipedia, who heard it from National Geographic, who heard it from a textbook one time, probably. That's because ChatGPT and other models like Gemini, Claude, and Grok are what's called large language models, or LLMs, which means they're really good at generating natural, smart-sounding answers to all kinds of different questions. LLMs learn to do that by training their artificial neural networks on tons of written data, from academic papers, to Wikipedia pages, to fantasy novels, to social media posts. And they use that training to predict how someone might answer the question you asked. Lots of times they do give the right answers, but not always. They're surprisingly fragile on stuff like math, science, and logic. And lots of the writing LLMs train on contain bias like racism and sexism, which means their answers can contain that bias too. Ultimately, LLMs can identify how words go together, what concepts go with other concepts, and what kinds of answers go with what kinds of questions. But that's not the same thing as actually knowing the answer. LLMs aren't knowledge databases or even search engines. They're predictive text generators that spit out words based on what statistically is most likely to come next. In other words, they're kind of like sophisticated language calculators. And so far, the evidence around how AI impacts learning is mixed. A range of studies published in 2023 and 2024 have come up with a variety of conclusions about the role of AI in learning. Like, some studies have found that ChatGPT actually makes a pretty good tutor, letting you break down concepts, ask follow-up questions, and dig deeper into any topic whenever you want. which is great if you're pulling an all-nighter and trying to finish assignments when the library is closed and your professor is asleep. Other studies showed that getting AI feedback on your writing might help strengthen your writing skills, and that AI might be especially helpful for college students with a variety of accessibility needs. Some AI models can read text out loud, transcribe audio in real time, generate descriptions of images, and translate between languages, which can make higher education way more approachable for more people. There are even AI models designed to help students build the social and cognitive skills they need to succeed in college. On the other hand, relying too much on AI can make you feel more distant from your professors and your classmates, and those relationships can be really important for learning. Studies also show that college students can use AI as a replacement for higher-order cognitive skills like analyzing others' ideas and creating your own. Using AI to get answers or complete assignments without really understanding them can keep you from actually absorbing and retaining the material, and it can stop you from building important skills like problem solving and critical thinking. So all of that means that generative AI might be helpful, especially for making certain tasks and information more accessible, but if you're not actually engaging with the material or reflecting on the answers AI is helping you find, you might not actually be building helpful skills or learning much at all. And that's true no matter what tools you're using to get through courses. Okay, here's another way to think of it. Say you join a gym and get a trainer, but then instead of learning how to do the exercises, you just watch your trainer do them. Sure, the exercises are done, but you didn't gain any muscle or coordination because you didn't do the work. Same goes for academics. If you use AI to do your homework, the homework will get done, but you haven't necessarily developed your mental muscles or built your skills in research, making connections, or communicating your ideas. If you skip out on the work, you're skipping out on the results of that work. And it's not just you who loses out. Using AI comes with ethical considerations and consequences that can affect you and people and places around the world. For one thing, using AI might be considered academic misconduct, which, depending on your school's policies, can mean you failed the assignment or the class or even get kicked out of school. But using AI can also be really disrespectful to the people who did do the work. Now, the legal and institutional lines around who owns AI-generated content are super murky and will probably keep on evolving. But if you use AI to do work that you pass off as your own, you're committing plagiarism. See, like you, ChatGPT didn't write that paper all on its own. And even if you're not using generative AI to write your whole paper, any help you get from AI used data from tons and tons of articles, studies, and books that were written by people. People who usually have no idea that their work is being used to train language models and no way to stop it even if they did. LLMs are also notoriously bad at citing their sources, so even if they try not to plagiarize, they'll probably do it anyway. Or just totally make stuff up and reference books and journals that don't even exist. So, along with the consequences to your grade and academic career, when you use AI and pass off others' work as your own, you risk misinterpreting results, obscuring where the information came from, and spreading misinformation. To be clear, that's bad. On top of all of that are the environmental concerns. AI produces electronic waste full of stuff like mercury and lead, and the data centers that power AI models use tons of electricity and water. Asking ChatGPT a question takes 10 times the amount of energy as a standard Google search, and according to one estimate, AI-related infrastructure around the world could soon consume 4 to 6 times the amount of water as the entire country of Denmark. Meanwhile, we live in a world where a quarter of humanity lacks access to clean water. All those ethical quandaries have made lots of people eager to get some regulations on AI, and colleges are no exception. Higher education has reached a huge moment of reckoning with AI. Like you, they're asking a lot of questions about using AI in college. Like, should students be allowed to use it? When? How much? Could they even stop you if they tried? And so far, they haven't really come up with much consensus. Usually, policies about AI use are left up to professors, so even different classes at the same school might have different policies. Some say you can use generative AI however you want. Some say you can't use it at all. Most seem to fall somewhere in the middle, saying you can use it with some considerations and restrictions to try to keep it helpful and ethical and, avoid possibly failing the course. Which brings us back to where we started: confusion. Unfortunately, it's hard to say once and for all if using AI is good or bad or, some secret third thing. AI has some really interesting potential benefits, but it also comes with risks. Not to mention, if you're using ChatGPT to write your paper and your professor's using ChatGPT to grade it, well then, what are we even doing here? AI is complex, and it's changing by the day. So we don't even really have the whole picture yet of what it means for you, or the future of higher education, or the state of the world. As AI continues to develop, the impacts and costs might change, and so will the way we think about them. So for now, the question for college students, professors, and really everyone to wrestle with isn't just, is AI good or bad? Instead, there's a range of questions we can ask now and in the future to help us figure out when and how to use AI. What do I think college is for, and what do I want to get out of my education? Is using AI building my thinking or replacing it? What do I value, and how do I want to interact with technology and the world around me? And finally, how does using AI right now affect me, other people, or the planet in the future? Because ultimately, what we do now and what we choose to learn is part of that question we've been wrestling with pretty much forever. What does it mean to be human? If you're currently in or thinking about going to college, go to gostudyhall.com for more student resources and check out our $25 college courses. Thanks for watching. See you next time.